Being in constant rush and eagerness to finish pending tasks is always something we have to face, probably on a daily basis. But not today. Today we decided to go to the movie theater for House Moving Castle during the Studio Ghibli Festival celebrated across the country. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna share a little bit of this look. I don't normally indulge my inner fangirl this much, but I couldn't miss the opportunity this time. This is the second time I get to watch a Ghibli film on the big screen. My first experience was Mononoke earlier this year on the release on IMAX. Movies hit differently when you're in a theater. Never mind the unbelievably huge amount of details that you can catch on the big screen. But the sound design and music in a proper theater is an absolute chef's kiss. I didn't get any footage during the screening for obvious reasons. But as expected, after this big dose of inspiration, Austin and I got to talk about it on our ride home. At some point in the conversation, Austin mentioned how Ghibli films in general have these moments where we get to appreciate the little things that are not really important to the story, or rather, don't have any action or impact whatsoever. And I do remember reading something about it, and I had to look it up again to find out all those windows of nothingness have an actual real purpose. Ma is a Japanese concept that means space in between. You might notice it applied in Japanese architecture, art, gardening, music, and many other disciplines. In communication, Ma gives a little rest to the speaker and the listener as well. In this silence, we communicate more. A truly smart way to connect with energy. I know it might sound a little bit silly, but let me explain. If you take more moments to give this space for the listener to tune in and focus, you will also find yourself to be in the moment and enhance the way you convey your message. You're both connecting through all those little pauses, assimilating and processing what has been said. Sometimes the weight of the world feels heavy. The demands, the stress, the endless to-do lists, it all piles up, leaving us feeling drained and disconnected. But in these quiet moments, if we listen closely, there's a world of little things calling us to slow down and breathe. Months have passed since I finished a personal project, and it truly makes me feel guilty, and honestly, kinda useless. At some point, I decided to take a moment and learn how to crochet. When I was a kid, I remember my mom teaching me how to do it, but I completely forgot since I never took it back again. Going shopping for yarn and watching a couple of tutorials helped me remember the basics of it. And in a day or two, I was on it. Which for some reason felt like a big excuse to not get in front of my canvas. I really felt like I was just procrastinating. But after learning about this concept, I started seeing things differently. I don't really think I was wasting my time anymore. It felt more like an appreciation of the things that are not important to the story, but very helpful to process life itself. The repetitive nature of crocheting allows my mind to focus on something simple, clearing space for new ideas. It's like taking a mental break, a way to reset when you feel overwhelmed. Some of you may remember my very first video. When we clean, we're not just tidying up our space, we're also clearing mental clutter. It's a chance to pause and breathe while creating something of value. The simple act of making something with our hands, stitch by stitch, ingredient by ingredient. It doesn't matter what. All that brings peace and purpose into the chaos in the world around us. Each tiny task, when done with intention, helps bring back the inspiration we thought we lost. And little by little, we find ourselves stronger, more centered, and more whole. The healing power of small daily rituals and the quiet strength they bring remind us that every now and then it's the simple things that help us reconnect and renew. We all hit creative blocks, probably daily. But maybe it's not about pushing harder or filling time with action. As the great Hayao Miyazaki advocates in his films, it is the silence that gives meaning to the sound. It's about slowing down and reconnecting with your space in between.